Welcome back to the Green Means Go channel. It's your host, me. And it's hard to be upset on a day that we crushed. Bush, Montgomery, Bell, Garcia with the Washington sweep, any batter, and Washington came through. I mean, any batter you pick. I think Luis Garcia hit 3 last night. So the other day somebody said, you always have Josh Bell. Yeah, because the dude hits the ball far. Nathaniel Lucas, Harris, Walker, Marte, and Adames. You're going to say, well, you didn't include Adames. I know, guys. I accidentally didn't put him in the photo. But I did mention his name and said he was my favorite. And that's on me. You know what? Maybe, That's on me. That's on me. Okay? We won't even count Adames. Because I know what the comments are going to be. It's like it never happened. I didn't have him. Never did. Never would. Never even considered it. The problem with a day like yesterday is I give out an official play that loses. So my fear is that when I give out an official play, people just tail that. And then they lose, and then they see all these winners, and they're like, I would have had Josh Bell if he didn't give out a play without Josh Bell in it. So, that's the frustrating part. And next year, when we do this, we will sort it out a little bit better. I really like how we're doing NFL this year, where I just like that a little better. So we'll sort it out. We'll get it figured out. Hopefully you're able to cash. I got some messages, some comments that people were. So that is good. No official play today. We're going to walk off a loser is what we're going to do. 2 games left on the season. 2 days left on the season. So we'll hit it hard here, and we'll try to make the most of it. Game in New York looks fantastic. Pitchers for Baltimore look rough, and it looks like New York could be in for a treat today. Aaron Judge and Jazz Chisholm, but anybody is in play for the Yankees. Westberg on the other side if you have to get at anybody. Game in Chicago. Wow. I mean, it is like the Yankees again. Don't sneeze at running back Michael Bush and Seiya Suzuki is what I'll say about that. Both hit one yesterday, and their prices are bizarrely good for the conditions that we'll have in Chicago today, for the pitching they're facing, for the state of this team. It looks really good for the Cubs, yet again. Ivan Herrera and Lars Nootbaar don't look too bad either if you want to take some Cardinals. Game in Toronto, Brandon Lau, Junior Caminero, and Addison Barger would all be my leans. It looks like a great spot for home runs. I don't know why. I don't know why we're getting this delicious treat on these last 2 days when it should be rough skating out there. Jonathan Aranda's back, and he hit one yesterday, I think, in his first game back. So I was tempted to go with him again, but we're not going to push our luck with Aranda. Game in San Francisco, Matt Chapman. Okay, we had the Willy Adames fail yesterday with not including it in the screenshot, but mentioning it. Not so today. San Francisco, 1 batter, 1 home run, Matt Chapman. That's who it's going to be today. Game in Washington, don't run back to Washington like it's going to print again. The conditions are certainly worse than they were yesterday. It's not bad, but we do not have the wind blowing out, low pressure, low humidity. Like, you don't have that going on today. Everything else is good except the wind. It's blowing in fairly strong. So go at this with a grain of salt. Kyle Teal, Colson Montgomery, Josh Bell. Oh, he's going to Josh Bell again. And Dalen Lyle looks so shockingly good at 870 on Novig. Boston, I said yesterday I didn't like it, and it was the only game with no home runs, so we'll count that as a win. I should start screenshotting when I say it's a red game and don't write anybody down and there's no home runs. I should start. We need to celebrate the little things in life, the times where we're right and we don't make money from it. How about that? Alex Bregman, can't find odds for him, but he looks good today. Game in Miami does not look good overall. I think it could be a strong pitching matchup. Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor are my leans. Game in Philly looks great, especially for Philly. Kyle Schwarber and Max Kepler would be my leans there. You may look at Ranger Suarez, who's pitching for Philly today, and say, well, he's hittable. Regardless, because sometimes when I say that, because sometimes I'll say this pitcher doesn't look good or does look good, and people will comment, well, that pitcher's trash. A pitcher is only as good as the batters before him. Not exactly, but sometimes a lineup looks worse against certain pitchers, or certain pitchers make lineups look bad, or certain lineups make pitchers look good. That's the case today. on paper, the games aren't played on paper. I understand that. Ranger Suarez looks like he has a big edge against this Twins lineup. That's why I don't have any Twins. Same thing for Cleveland. That's why I don't have any Texas bats. For Cleveland, I like Ramirez, CJ Kafis, and Stephen Kwan. We'll put him in the target category, lowercase question mark. Looks good today. If you want some long shots, Kafis at 9-1 is a great price, and Kwan was probably around that price as well. Both of them look good, and you can see it's a green park today, green conditions. Game in Milwaukee, let down yesterday. I was pretty high on this game. I was pretty high on Milwaukee bats. I think they won 2-1, so we didn't get the volume in the home runs as we expected. We'll go back today. It looks good again. William Contreras, Andrew Vaughn, and Jackson Chourio all look good. If you see that Chourio, I could have shrunk the text down so it would have fit on one line, but I kind of liked how it looked there with the O at the. TJ Friedel looks good as well, and fantastic price on TJ Friedel, $850. That's the price where TJ should be, or where I like to play him at. He's kind of been trickling down in the 5s and 6s this season. You're getting the $850 today, so not too bad. Game in Atlanta, conditions-wise, it's great. Bats for the Braves don't look as good as yesterday. Profar looked okay. Horwitz hit 2 yesterday. Maybe he can still see the ball well and has momentum in the stadium. Brian Reynolds. Again, Green Park. It should be optimistic. Game in San Diego, the boy who cried Perdomo. That's me. Hello. Nice to meet you. He looks good again today. And at that 9-1 number, we had to hit him 1 out of every week and a half to break even. So I know it gets exhausting looking at him. It gets exhausting seeing him be good every day. You think you got it bad, okay? What about me, who has to look at the data and say, well, there goes Perdomo again. Looks good again. Manny Machado, 355. Game in L.A., conditions-wise, look great. Pitching makes me a little nervous. Jesus Sanchez, I don't know if he'll start. I didn't find a price for him. I don't know if he's hurt. I don't really know all the details there. He's the only guy that looks promising, but conditions are good. So if you want to push your luck, you go for it. Game in Seattle, I'd target left-handed batters in this one if you go with anybody, but pitching is phenomenal, so I didn't find anybody who looked good. And then lastly, it's the antithesis of the Seattle game. It is the opposite of the Seattle game. It's everything the Seattle game wishes it was, to the complete opposite degree. It should be a homer fest here in Oakland. Wind is blowing out at a 15, 16 miles an hour, high humidity, and subpar pitching. I mean, it could rain today. I say that, and you know what happens when I say stuff like that? Oh, what do you know? Brent Rooker hit one. That's it. Vinny Pasquantino, Salvador Perez, Tyler Soderstrom, and Nicholas Kurtz. I put any for the Oakland A's, and I put an exclamation mark on it. This lineup could have 4. That's my. If somebody said you have to call exactly how many home runs the Oakland A's hit today, and if you're wrong, you're forced to eat tuna and mustard the rest of your life. Now, I don't feel a ton of pressure because tuna and mustard, not bad. I could do it, but I'm saying 4 homers. All right, today I will release this video. I was proud of the thumbnail. Okay, I can be self-deprecating at times. I think I was a little bit arrogant growing up and in middle school and high school, and a lot of that stemmed from a lack of self-confidence, which is kind of paradoxical. But I didn't have a lot of confidence in myself, so I had to be arrogant. Now I've just leaned into the self-deprecating, where I don't often speak highly of myself. Because I look back at my high school self. This is a therapy session, by the way, and I don't care for who I was and how I treated people. I think it's okay to give yourself credit when you do good things. And I was proud of this thumbnail. That's a cool thumbnail. You may not like it. It's art, so it's subjective. I thought that was I just had this idea of how to set it up, and I set it up, and I like the thumbnail. But the video content hopefully is just as good. It's comparing OddsJam, Smart Stake, OddsView, and Avo in the year 2025. Talking about the prices, the features, the UI, everything. So that will be out today if you want to watch it. I try to make it as digestible as possible. It's like 10 minutes long. So love you guys. Tomorrow, final day. Have fun Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow.